Hi, so this is the energy reading for all water signs. My last video, I did the general reading for all signs in July. So this is that was a general psychic reading that everyone should watch because it really pertains to what's going on in the world around us, what people are going through in the world around us. This reading is for all water signs, so if your rising or sun sign is water, this reading is for you for the month of July. So it's an energy forecast. Okay. So it's a psychic reading, I have to say. So I go into connect here, and I do it in real time because I think that's just better. It's more of a channeling than me doing it and then just describing to you what that was like, because it would never be the same. Okay. Okay, so this is all water signs. For all water signs. Okay. Okay. There's a lot going on here that I feel we're dealing between my heart, okay, and we're dealing between my head. I have to say the overall feeling is that there's a lot of healing happening in the month of July. There's also a lot of healingness within you, healerness within you. So I am talking to those who are specifically intuitively guided to watch this video as well. Because it's, generally speaking, it is a small group of people who are pulled into reading this video, although I'm not limiting this to a small group of people. Okay. Okay. There is something very important going on this month that is extremely deep and soul reflective. It has a lot to do with your place in your overall family. It's your place in your community, but it's also your place within your ancestral line and your place within your family. So there's a lot going on family-wise, both on Earth and from Spirit. Spirit is supporting you in your role on Earth, is what I have to tell to you, okay? And this is dealing with family, and this is dealing with family dynamics, and there is a lot of healing that is being going on in family dynamics for water signs this month, okay? You have taken on a kind of a guardian role, generally speaking. Okay, and let's see, it is a bit to the point where you're realizing you want more balance within the family structure. You absolutely have beautiful relationships within your family, but this is about balance. It's not about blame, and it's not about, okay, this is really important. This is not about the past. This is not about going back and rehashing the past, although the past is within the present. But it's really about focusing as much as you can on the present. We talked about that in the general reading. So I think that's really important. That's what you're bringing to the general population, is that you are focusing very much on the present moment, finding joy in the present moment. And that very much is coming around family for you. For a lot of you, there's a desire to have a certain type of family and make a family and find a partner. So we are talking about single people, and I have to get into single water signs right now, because when we're talking about that, it's really that for the most part you do want a family and you are looking for a partner who wants a family. That's coming up for a lot of you. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is really important because we also talked about this in the general reading. The point is not to focus so much on that goal. that you want that. Your heart, your soul knows that that's your desire, okay? What we have to do as much as we can is kind of put it aside, because what's happening now for you, that's happening, right? And the more we focus on it, the more complicated it becomes while we're in the period that feels like a waiting period to meet our partner, what that is. In the meantime, this is very deep soul work, because there's something happening in this very root chakra. So we're dealing with a lot of levels of our spirit at once. So this is a very complex month for you, water signs, okay? So what's happening is there's a kind of a breaking open or a breakthrough that's very red, that's getting you in touch. And the red is your groundedness, your root. Okay. The stability within yourself, okay? You have to go inward and find the stability within yourself first. And many of you are needing this idea. Okay, many of you are trying to find financial stability, and the idea of having a partner kind of takes a little bit of the load off, and so we're aiming towards the partner when we are actually being called to have stability. It includes money, but it really has a lot to do with personal power, which we were talking about again, generally. So you have a lot of what's going on in the big picture is also happening on the micro scale for you. So it's like if you look outside the window, you see an example of what's going on inside the house. Okay? Yeah, so it's like if there's discord in a family outside, I don't know why I have to say this, but I have to. You recognize there's discord inside. It's not about, this isn't some long-term whatever, but this is about evening the waters. It's about not projecting onto other people as much as possible. Okay. There's something really important about you that I have to say. As a healing presence, okay? So you're getting in touch with your own healing presence. It's like, what can I bring to this situation, to the table, to make things kind of better for my family? And a lot of times for you, water sign, it's actually about less of your personal attention, and it's actually about more of you giving yourself care. That's going to be the greatest power that you can give the family, because you have a lot of people who rely on you. I don't want to say too heavily, because it is what it is. We don't have to put a judgment. There's a lot of people who rely on you, and it would do them good and you good if they relied on themselves more and their inner power. And this is something that comes up a lot in family dynamics, and a lot of the times the matriarch is the one who's overexerting herself, and the patriarch too. But I'm talking about the mothers who are overexerting themselves. I'm also talking about people who aren't necessarily mothers, but who are sisters, daughters who are overexerting themselves. And you're not seeing the required, what is that? You're not seeing what's required of others. You're only seeing what's required of yourself. So you really have to open your eyes to, what would I like to see in my sister? What would I like to see in my brothers? What would I like to see? And here's the important part, because it's almost like psychically answering that question as you ask it. And what you truly would like to see is the best of others, okay? So anytime that you're seeing them as dependent on you or weak in some way, that they can't do something without you, or they fill in the blank, and you're putting yourself in there as the support, that is actually sending them a bit of the idea that you don't believe in them. And it's not your intention. But the more that you self-care, this is how you're bringing healing into your community and your family. Okay, and I also want to say your ancestors, because you have a lot of ancestors or loved ones in spirit past who were very selfless in the way that it was almost, I mean, I hate to use words like this, but it comes up, the word imbalance, where it's like, even you know that about them, you know that they gave their whole lives to their families, okay? So there's someone in your past, let's say, there's someone in your spirit soul group who wants you to know that they had gone through that, but that's not your, let's say, you know about them, but that's not your mission in life. In fact, you're learning from their lives. So their lives were, that's what their lives were about. And that's important, that you separate yourself from the generation before you and say, that's what their life was about, and that's the way it is. There was nothing wrong, you know, we're not judging their life, but that's the way it is. But here's the huge problem that you have is, we look at generation above us, we naturally believe that that's what we are to become, but it's actually, we're to step on the shoulder of the giant, okay? So your family before you is actually the giant, no matter how difficult they were. Because for some of you, it's bringing up difficult relationships within the family. So no matter how difficult they were, oh my gosh, I didn't time this. Here we go. Or are, you're not to repeat, okay? And this is how you heal, okay? Some of you are also feeling like there is a generation or someone within the family who holds a very high bar, okay? You need to know that you have the light within yourself, and you have your own light, and you have your own work to do, which is of greatness as well, okay? So this comparing thing, I want to say that has more to do with your community, comparing yourself to people within your community, but some of you have parents or ancestors who would have been very successful in their lives, and you're finding it to be a different type of path to your own success, and also a different kind of idea of what success is. So they would have been traditionally successful with a family and a career and appreciation within their community, things like that. You're finding a different path to your own success, and you're redefining what is success, which is another thing that came up in the general reading. So it's really important. Let's see here. This is an extremely creative time for you, and it's an interesting thing because I know you're water sign, but it's a very fiery time for you too, and I want to tell you that unlike the general reading, okay, things are happening very quickly, okay? There's a lot of things happening quickly. Okay, most of that has to do with your thoughts, your creative thoughts and your creative process. So it's like things are coming into you really fast. You're having a lot of ideas. It's so important that you write them down, and I can see you literally recording on your phone, like, oh, I just had an idea, like maybe I should, I don't know, update the website. What is that? It's not about website, but what I'm seeing is like about the calendar. It's like you're having ideas about like events or things that you have coming up that you would like to have come up in the future, like ideas about, oh my gosh, it's like so in the inception of the idea that it's hard to express, but this is what is coming in, has a lot to do with career and literally putting dates on the calendar. And that has to make sense to you somehow. It's about putting the dates on the calendar because you have ideas about blank that you're doing. And it's like events or, oh my gosh, deadlines for your ideas. So a lot of you so here's what's happening. You're getting that information very quickly, and if you don't write it down and take it, it's like absorb it from the space around you and put it somewhere physical, it will have a harder time to manifest all of those things, and you are capable of doing all of them, but it won't be at once. But it's really important because it's like your dreams. If you don't write them down as soon as you wake up, you will forget them. And it's the same because you're getting your dreams ideas for what are your dreams, and if you don't write it down, you'll forget. Okay, so you want to, oh my gosh, this is really interesting. This is deeply emotional for you. Okay, you want to so badly know what your dreams are, okay? And this is something that keeps you up at night. This is something that, oh my gosh, it's almost like it haunts you, okay? There's a shift in this happening for you because it will turn from haunting into a blessing for you. It will. And you know it will. You know it will. That's why I have to tell you, because it's like your souls are saying this is a great blessing because you know what it's like to suffer. You know what it's like not to have your dreams. Okay. Because for a lot of you, it's like, I don't know what the dream is, but it's a co-creation with spirit, your own spirit, the great spirit, and the collective, where there is a triangle that has to happen, and all the pieces need to be in the right place in order to make it work, okay? And you're a very powerful part of the triangle, but you have to remember you're one part, and you have support from spirit, and you have to pray, or you have to give it up to spirit, give it up to God, because this has been deeply emotional, because it's like, I don't know what my dream is, but you're a very creative being, and it's a very creative time. So lots of ideas for your dream come through from now until October, November. Very important that you track those. It is also really important that you take time to breathe, that you take space. This is a very healing time. I can't get that enough said to you. You're a healer. So you have a healing presence. You can share that with others, but you yourself are also receiving healing. That has a lot to do with the family, like I said, and your place within the family. Look at your family if you can, if you're there, as your great teachers, okay? And don't push it, because a lot of you just need space from family to get to that place where you can objectively look back and say, those were great teachers. A lot of you love your family very much, and you have an imbalance within your family. Who does not have an imbalance within their family? So you may be giving a lot of yourself, and it's not actually helping the others who you want to be helping. And you are a helper. So as a helper, you have to take space for yourself and take a deep breath. So a lot of this is about getting self-care. A lot of you I see, oh my gosh, a lot of you I see getting pedicures. A lot of you I see like getting spa treatments, getting acupuncture, of course massage. For some reason acupuncture and like getting groomed, you know, like getting hair done, and like even if it's by your girlfriends, getting a tan, you know, getting vitamin D from the sun, all of these things are about you taking space and helping yourself this whole summer, but especially in the month of July. But so much is happening for you as far as a shift it goes, and it will take some time, but you will recognize that you have, let's see, for some it's a process, that's what I want to say. It's a process of recognizing the light within yourself and how sacred it is, and how you have to groom the light within yourself. It can't always be creating, and the most important part is if you don't know what it is you want to create, that's your message from Spirit. It's not about the goal. It's not about projecting to the future about what it is I want to create in the future. So it puts it out there and it says, I don't know. When you don't know what the goal is, it's so important to take care of yourself in the moment. And a lot of that time, that's grounding into the body, that's doing yoga, that's doing your nails, if that's something you like to do. Whatever you like to do for yourself. Whatever you like to do for yourself that makes you feel good and finds that joy this summer, you have to do it, because it's so important to show yourself respect in the meantime. Because if you don't know the goal, and trust me, you're not meant to know the goal yet, but those dreams are coming into you, to your psyche. And I have to say, please pay attention to your actual dreams and start writing them down. It will take some time to decode and recognize your own dream language, but you will do that. Okay. Okay. And I think we're ending that there, water signs. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that brought some clarity to you in your path. Please subscribe, like, comment if this stuff means anything to you. Let's see. My email is in the information. And if you would like a private reading, I do mediumship or psychic readings, you know, soul-to-soul readings or spirit guide readings. Please email me. Even if you don't want a private reading, you can definitely email me to get on my newsletter list. So I'll be sending those out like once a month with information about what I'm up to, energy forecast, blogs, and whatever. So if it's something you want, email me, and I hope to hear from you soon. Namaste.